Well, hey guys, welcome to today's video. It is early January, heading into the second week of January, and it is cold. It's been cold. Much of the country is cold at this point, and we got snow coming, and we're just kind of working on doing some preparations for that in the nursery. And it's not all that much that we have to do, but there are a few steps that we have to take in our nursery the way that we're set up, and it's really not even because it's going to get so cold, even though it is going to get cold. It's because we're getting snow. And these structures that we have built here, these shade covers, whether it's that one or one like that one back there, they cannot stand up under any snow load at all. So we're going to work on that today and talk a little bit about what it looks like for us to prepare for snow. So I'm not excited about it. You know, I live in the deep south. It doesn't snow here every year, but it's just part of the deal, and it may look a lot different for us than it does for other people, depending on where you live, your climate, and so on. So everybody's got to do it the way they've got to do it, and we're going to do what we do. So let's go take down some shade cloth. All right, before we get to the shade cloth, I wanted to just show y'all a couple of plants here. I get asked about this pretty often, and I think it's a really good question to spend a minute on while we're talking about cold weather preparation. But this is a perennial. It's just a Shasta daisy. It's called snowcap. It's a compact Shasta daisy, and it's ugly and it's dormant. And I'm not showing this, so I'm not showing you this so you can see how nice and pretty it is. Just want you to see that this is a thornless blackberry called Apache, and these are just a couple of plants that'll be really nice in the springtime for us. But I get asked a lot, you know, do I cover my plants, or how do I care for these plants that are in these pots? Well, here's the thing. We've been cold for several days. It's about 30 degrees out here now, and this is as high as the temperature is going to get today. And these pots are frozen solid. I mean, they are just like bricks. And it's fine. People say, well, what if your plants freeze? Well, that's what plants do. They freeze. These are not house plants. These are not annual plants. These are hardy perennial plants. They'll come back year after year after year. And you got plants that are hardy in your area, whether they're perennials or evergreens, trees, shrubs, whatever they are. The overwhelming majority of plants do just fine, just sitting out in the open, in the weather, all winter long. So these will get buried under 5 or 6 or 8 inches of snow in the next few days. And it doesn't matter at all. So, you know, just like, let's just say a blackberry, just like your blackberry that you have growing out on your fence row, it doesn't die just because it gets cold. Well, the same thing is true of these, as long as they're hardy plants. So it's just mentioning that part of having a nursery is not necessarily that you have to cover every single thing you have. It all depends on what you grow. So the way that we do it, we leave most things sitting out in the open. So I'm going to start on this shade cloth, and I'm just taking it down. Taking this down, it takes a little time, but it's not that hard. Putting it back on can be a little bit more of a bear to deal with. You just got to get it to fit right. But that being said, I'm just going to start down here on this corner, and I'm going to take this wire, and I've showed you guys this wire before. This is just called wiggle wire, and it's kind of a testament to how it's made. Here's a short piece of it, and I just used this as a scrap when I was putting this together. But if you can see that, it's just a small piece of wire, but these generally come in about 6 foot long pieces. This is just a piece of it, but it's, you know, the shape of it's like a spring. It's like a spring wire, wiggle wire, track wire. It has different names, but you just take this wire, and I've got this piece over the front here. I've already pulled one piece of this off, but this wire just wiggles back and forth to come out of there, and then conversely, you just do it the opposite way to put it back in. But just kind of working my way up this track. It's just a little channel here that this wire fits in, and like I said, this is about 6 feet long and something like that. And you just go back and forth until you get it all the way out, and it's holding up, you know, everything on that edge. So you kind of see this end wall here start to fall off, and I'll just continue going all the way up over the top and down the other side, and this entire end wall will be loose from the very top. So that's all you do to take this down. It's much faster, as I said, than putting it up, but just got to take the time to do it. So that's what I'm working on. All right, this end is completely finished, as you can see, going out that way, and let's see, going out more that way. And now I got to go down this length here. So it goes all the way out there on this shade house here. So I just got to get down here on the ground. There's a piece of this track wire that goes all the way down this bottom down here. And I'll just kind of crawl along the ground there. I get on a cardboard, just a flattened cardboard box because this gravel's rough on my knees. And I'll just take the wiggle wire out, just one wiggle, 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 wiggle at a time. And then we'll have this entire length loose. So then all we have to do is flip it up and over the top, over to the far side over there, and it's off. All right, not too huge of a problem to get those down. You know, just a little hang up here and there, just like everything you do. But now I'm going to get this down. And I think I have 3 separate tarps up on top of this. And we'll see, shade tarps on top of this. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get them no matter what. But look, guys, this is just sitting up here on top of this. And I've got zip ties tying the whole thing all the way around all 4 sides of it. So I'm going to go through and just cut the zip ties, pull the thing off, be done with it, and should be able to make reasonably quick work of this. So again, taking stuff down always way faster and way easier than putting it up. So, you know, I don't mind doing this at all today, but it makes me dread having to put all this back up. But again, it's just part of the deal. So I'm gonna see if I can get this down. All right, guys, I got this shade cloth here on flat top put up as much as I'm going to. I decided to just take each section, it has 3 sections, and sorry about that sun, and just roll them up. So then I can cut the zip ties loose that I rolled them up with and just roll them back out. And maybe it'll be a little bit quicker and a little bit easier when it's time to put them back up. So this whole part is done. Our shade houses are done as far as taking the shade cloth down. So we're doing good. All right, guys, now that we've gotten that done, just another thing worth mentioning that you have to pay attention to in the winter, and you have to pay attention to this anytime, but particularly in the winter, at least where we live, we get a lot of wind, we get a lot of storms, and it, you know, it just continues to the spring. And you can see around me here, all behind me and all over there, we have plants just that have been blown over all over the place by the last storm that came through here just 3 or 4 days ago. And you know, plants falling over is pretty common. Here's an emerald green arborvitae right here. Oh, let's don't grab that one. It's actually rooted to the ground. So that's the only reason that thing is standing. It's because it's rooted to the ground. So what I was gonna say, that was kind of funny. What I was gonna say is any of these plants, now my microphone cut out, but what I was attempting to say there was that any of your plants that are taller, and I mean taller at all relative to the pot that they're in, they're always somewhat susceptible to falling over in the wind. And it seems like maybe more so in the winter, at least mine are, because a lot of them are kind of root bound. They need to be up potted, they need to be sold, and they don't get watered every day. So anytime you got snow coming, you want your plants to be standing up. You don't want a bunch of plants blown over, because the snow will blanket these plants. You know, for us, we're supposed to get 5 or 6 inches of snow, and you know, that will melt to, you know, a ½ inch of water or so, and that's a good watering for the plants. So you want to make sure that even though you're not watering, like actively watering your plants through the winter, that they're still getting enough moisture to thrive and to stay alive and just to remain healthy through the winter season. So one of the things we're always keeping an eye on out here is plants getting blown over and not leaving them for days and days and days, but trying to get them picked up, especially when the next rain is coming. Well, all right, guys, it's the next day and we got the snow that we were supposed to get. It's still coming down, and we're at almost 5 inches now, which is a lot for a deep south snowstorm. So we got the things taken care of that we needed to take care of, and I'm really, really grateful that we were able to do all the things that we needed to get done. It wasn't too much, but you know, it's going to save us some trouble. So we just look forward to the warmer days ahead. The warmer days of spring are coming, but dealing with snow, dealing with cold weather, it's just part of having a nursery. So I just wanted to show y'all a little bit today and this week about what it looked like for us to get ready for that. So guys, I appreciate y'all watching today. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one.